On May 9th, 2024, a 32-year-old man barged into the house of a minor aged 16, assaulted her parents, dragged her out, and proceeded to chop her head off. He then walked away with the head into a nearby jungle. Who was the man? What was the motive behind such a brutal killing? I am Pawan, and welcome to my channel Macabre India. Let's find out more about this macabre killing. The gruesome murder took place in Surlabi village in Coorg district, Karnataka, India. The village is located in the Western Ghats, a mountain range that runs down the coastal line of peninsular India. Surlabi is quite isolated and education is not a priority for most families and their children. So it was a pretty big deal when our 16-year-old victim, Meena, cleared her 10th grade board exams. There was even a celebration marking her achievement in the village. Although she scored a moderate 52%, it was indeed a great milestone for the school and the village since she was the only female student in her class. She was the youngest of 6 children and lived with her parents. The 32-year-old killer was Prakash. His house was a mere 3 kilometers away from the victim's house. He lived with his mother. According to the locals, he was a troublemaker who his own parents were scared of. He had 3 sisters who were married and lived with their husbands. His biggest wish in life was to get married. Due to decades of female infanticide and the preference to have male children, the gender inequality is considerable in rural India. It is not uncommon to see many aging bachelors, and Prakash was one of them. Their depression and desperation is real and no laughing matter. It was this desperation that made Prakash pursue Meena when she was a mere 15 years old. He would visit her school regularly. He would buy her chocolates and gifts. He spent money on her. It is understandable that a girl of that age could be naive and romantic gestures and attention would influence her. However, her teachers and concerned village elders noticed this and warned Prakash to stay away from the child. But he rudely dismissed them and told them it was none of their business. About 6 months into this relationship, Prakash had won over the girl fully. He visited the girl's house and declared his intention to marry her. By any means necessary, he got the parents to agree. In rural India, child marriage, although illegal, is still prevalent, but not as common as it was a few decades ago. So it would not have been abnormal for the parents to accept this proposal. Prakash started visiting the girl's place more often. His parents were against this courtship since they thought it was inappropriate for their son to be chasing a schoolgirl. His mother would later state that he was hardly ever home since he ate, helped with domestic work, and spent as much time as possible at the girl's house. He even helped the girl study for exams and took her to school and exams because he thought it was important for her. Her exams having concluded, she received her 10th grade board exam results on 8th May 2024. On 9th May, Thursday, the day of the murder, the two of them were engaged in a ceremony that 200 people attended. Prakash was over the moon and was in a jovial mood. The engagement ceremony took place between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. However, a villager alerted the Child Welfare Helpline and the District Social Welfare Department officials visited the girl's house on the same day after the engagement had been concluded. The officials reached Meena's home and counseled both the families against the marriage. The officials also said that if they went ahead with the marriage, it would attract provisions of the POCSO Act and the Child Marriage Act. Both families agreed that only after Meena attained the age of 18, she would be married to Prakash. The officials and the groom's family then left the place at 3:30 p.m. Back in his own residence, Prakash's mother found nothing in his behavior to suggest what would come next. He appeared to be perfectly normal and talking as usual with his acquaintances and friends who had accompanied him home after the engagement. At 5:30 p.m., Meena's father was outside their house tending to their cows. Meena and her mother were alone inside. At this point, Prakash barged into the house and confronted them. He urged them to go ahead with the marriage as planned and not wait until Meena was 18. The mother refused to do so, and this made Prakash angry, very angry. Hearing the commotion, the father went inside and confronted Prakash. Prakash kicked the father, who is old and frail. The mother tried to get out of the house with Meena with the intention of going to the police. However, Prakash grabbed a tree-cutting bayonet and blocked their way. He slashed the mother's arm with such force that it damaged her arteries and nerves. While both parents were injured and dazed, in a fit of rage, he dragged Meena out of the house. He pulled her for 100 meters into the nearby jungle. He cut her head off. Bizarrely, then he took the head and ran into the jungle. When the father came outside a short while later, all he found was a lifeless body of his daughter. Both Prakash and the daughter's head were nowhere to be seen. A police complaint was immediately registered. The police themselves were shocked at the brutality of the crime when they investigated the scene of the murder. They sent the headless body for post-mortem and had the parents sent to a hospital for treatment of their injuries. They also immediately started looking for Prakash based on the information they had about the vehicle that drove him to the girl's house. On 10th May, Friday, 24 hours after absconding from the scene of crime, Prakash had still not been apprehended. Some news outlets reported that Prakash had committed suicide. But that turned out to be false. Instead, the police received a tip that he was spotted in the forest area near his house. In the early hours of 11th May, Saturday, they finally managed to nab him. The timing of the arrest was good, since they would later learn that Prakash had grabbed a hunting rifle from his home and had planned on killing the woman who informed the child welfare department. However, they still had not found the head despite searching for it an entire day. After some interrogation, Prakash revealed where he had placed the head after beheading Meena. Truth is stranger than fiction, as the old saying goes. The head was on top of a tree amidst some branches. The police recovered the head and cameras captured a grieving brother as the head was taken away in a plastic bag. That was the sad end of a young girl's life that promised much. This murder shook the state and grabbed the attention of State Home Minister Parameshwar, who visited the family's home on 16th May, offered his sympathies and assured the family speedy justice would be served. He also promised the family compensation. Additionally, he said an investigation into the actions of the Social Welfare Department would also take place because they only stopped the marriage but did nothing to assure the girl's safety. One can only hope that this case gets fast-tracked and Prakash receives the strictest punishment possible for this gruesome killing. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please drop a like and leave a comment in the comment box below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.